How's it going, guys? So for today's tutorial, we're going to be breaking down that movement sequence there that you just saw. So let's get right into it. Prerequisite. First, you will need to know your basic upper body sunrise, which will look like this. Right? So rather than try to break that down here, what I'm going to do instead is leave a good tutorial on how to do basic sunrises in the video description. Definitely check that out. Get it to where you can do it pretty well, because sunrises are kind of their own animal. Definitely a kind of difficult thing to learn how to do because it's contact play, meaning no hands. And then come back here, and then if you have done that, or if you can already do sunrises, terrific. You've already done like 2/3 of the work. All that there is to mention from here is that we're doing it from a dark scorpion wrap. And the reason for that is, I'll get into the dark scorpion wrap here, is that it is the anti-wrap, if you will, to the dragon wrap. Which means now if I do a dragon wrap, I have an empty knot. Boom. It's ready to shoot out freely. Anytime I want to release from a sunrise from my anchor side, assuming under normal circumstances I do my sunrise and I launch back as is, you'll find that I'm in a dragon wrap. So, the rope artists out there of you will be able to figure out why we have to be in a dark scorpion wrap if we're going to launch in a position that by default would land us in a dragon wrap. That would create an empty knot. So, that's why we start this sunrise sequence from the dark scorpion wrap. Now, as I bring it over to the anchor elbow, I have an empty knot. That dragon wrap now has completely freed up that dark scorpion wrap we started with. Hence, the free shot. So, all that there really is left to mention, because once again, once you can sunrise, this is an easy thing to do. Starting facing this way, I enter that dark scorpion wrap. I want to bring it back over to where it's on the dark wall plane. And as I start to transition and bring it up over on this side, you'll see it start to swing up. That is when I want to pass this slack that I'm currently still holding in my anchor hand over to my lead hand as it continues upward and we go into our sunrise from there. So, because that's really hard to show slowly, I'm going to slow motion what I mean so you can see what I'm talking about, and I'll point it out to you. Alrighty, so we enter that dark scorpion wrap and end up in a wall plane here, transition to the dark wall plane. As it comes up to the front of the body and rises, there's our pass right there. So we want to make sure it clears that point before passing the rope. And that's really the main detail there is, because if you're still holding that slack in that anchor hand, it'll be impossible to continue on with the sequence. And the other detail to mention is that when you do a sunrise, when you're stacking it with something already, you'll notice that because I've got this body wrap, this slack taken up, I'm not necessarily going to be able to splay out and do a sunrise like I can normally with my arms outstretched. It'll be a little bit more like I'm flexing my biceps. Sort of like that. So I'm here. So as you can see, it's the same, but it's a little bit more compact. Now I can release back this way freely because I've passed this slack over and I have an empty knot. And that's basically all there is to this sequence. I'll show it one more time this way with a little bit more of a breakdown. In summary, dark scorpion wrap, bring it over to the dark wall plane, start our sunrise as it comes up, pass that slack. 1, 2, 3, however many you like. Get it on that anchor elbow and shoot it back. That's the sequence. It's a fun one. It's kind of an original thing because I was playing around with sunrise and I wanted to find a way to release it off the anchor side, and that just happens to be what I came up with. Probably came up with it a couple of years ago now. It's definitely kind of a staple of basically whenever I practice, I find myself doing that one several times a session, it seems like. So, yeah, since it's kind of a staple of my game, thought it'd be kind of a cool way to share and put that out there. And those of you interested in learning these moves can then take it and make it your own, add your own flavor, transitions, and style to it. It's definitely more, because of the contact stuff, in the flow category than in the martial, but nevertheless, rope darting is rope darting. It's all great, it's all awesome, and keep on practicing. So that'll be all for this tutorial. Thank you for watching. Remember to like, leave a nice comment, all that good stuff if you feel so inclined. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.